That's very important. Okay, we are recording our English speaking session today. Is I don't know, but today here in Brazil is Sunday, so Sunday is a sunny day. And to be honest with you, so it's a beautiful day outside. But I decided to study English with my friends. So if you are watching us here on the YouTube channel, I would like to say thank you so much to be here. And I'd like to see, don't forget to subscribe at this YouTube channel and click the like button. This helps us a lot to build a better YouTube channel. And we are here just to practice speaking skills. So we have people from Bangladesh, from Cambodia, and from China with me. And I'm from Brazil, of course. We are here just to develop our speaking skills. Just to remember, guys, there were some people on the comments on our YouTube channel. There are some guys which asked me if I already passed an IELTS speaking test or TOEFL speaking test, or if I was an English teacher. So I answered him that I'm not an English teacher. I'm just an ESL, which means English Second Language. So I have been studying English by myself. So that's, I'd like to be clear here that we are not English teacher. We are all here just English learners. So I'm here to learn and develop my speaking skills. And so my friends have been doing this. So let's keep it, let's go ahead. Jeremy, it's your turn. We were talking about zoos. So what do you think about the first question? What do you feel? How do you feel about zoos and why?
Actually, zoos are very important thing for our environment and for zoological part in our country. Because zoo are great, but because you get to be up to close and personal with some amazing animals that you would pretty much never get to see in the wild. But clearly, zoo are, is a big win for people. But when it comes to the animal, zoos might cause more harm than good for animals, because it's sometimes it's good to research with animals and some species, but sometimes there are few species that they can't survive in the cage, and it's very harmful for animals. But juice is very good, carries very good amount of information and research related things for zoological part, and it's easiest thing than where people research about animals. It helps them. But in that case, when animals are not feel good at the cage, then it's very harmful for them. If I speak about human, it's obviously very good for human, because they get to know more about animals and zoological part in our country, but in any country. But when it gets into the animal part, then it may be very harmful for them, because where some species, if they can't survive in the rural area and in cities, and most of the zoos are located in the cities, most richest cities. But when they are they are taken in most preferred surveillance, and their most staffed area, then animals are getting so good situation, and they have mostly endangered animals are safe in the cage. But where some some animals that are like lions and tigers, they are most comfortable in the sorry, in the forest, because they don't want to come out with the wild situation. And it's like harmful for them, because tigers Little tigers can't survive in the cage. It's very hard to serve them, and sometimes in the zoos, staffs are very it's like a threaten for them because serve the animals is not easy. It's very hard to keep them in a cage, and sometimes they are become very wild, and it may be harmful for human also. So it's a very harmful, and Jews have also have their own problems. Actually, not all Jews are equal, but some are very clean and well staffed. That is good, but others aren't that same situation. And for many cities, there are no amount of education or research justified in keeping animals captive. So when it gets in human research, it's also good. But there are some animals are not getting so comfortable in cage, in having cage. So it's also good for human, but not good at all for animals.
Yeah, indeed, indeed. Unfortunately, there are two ways to see this picture. When we see by the side that there were some animals which cannot survive today at the real society, it's good for them. But when we're talking about animals that can fly, that needed so many meters of space to walk in, to run, like tigers, like lions. They these animals, they like to run, they like to eat their own food, to pick up their own food. So it's quite boring to them, to these animals, to be in the jail, to be on place like this, you know. So they feel stuck, they feel that they were not free. That is, I believe that is free, something like that is like they have been feeling, and that is a bad feeling even to me, because when I went to the zoo here with my family, I went to the section. Sorry, I went to the section that was the tigers section. So when I go in at this place, what happened? I just saw so many jails beside one beside other, many jails. I believe there has at least 2 meters. Yes, it was 2 meters of large and long. It's 5 6 meters of long. So it's 3 4 6. This is the quality of space that they had to live in. So it's quite tiny. It's quite tiny space. It's not so large. It's not enough for a tiger. So I look at this tiger at the time, and they start to walking around. They are so nervous to be that, because I was seeing them. I just was watching the tigers, and I started to pay attention that the tiger was just walking around 2 meters. They start to walking around from other side, because I believe that it was very uncomfortable on this place. So that is a bad feeling, when even to me that I was there just to see the tiger. So I felt he was very concerned about the place that he would live in. The second question right
You
now.
know one thing, Alex. You know one thing that most of the lions and tigers, they breed in large number, but they can't survive in the cage, and they die. And it's a lot of it's like threatened for a country, because the tigers and lions is like a wealth for in the case when they are bred, and they are die in a large number, then it comes to a threat for us. And mostly when they are bred, it's like more comfortable in the world situation. So in the cage, to keep them in the cage, it's very bad for them.
Yeah, indeed, indeed. So the second question, guys. Right now, the second question is for you, Ta. Are there any animals that shouldn't be kept as pets? Why or why not? So, what do you think about pets? What type of animals that do you think that should not keep as a pet? What do you think about it? You are muted.
Sorry. I think there are many animals that should kept should keep as a pet. It's not only cat and dog, something like that. But I saw just so many like parrot. People like to people like to keep parrot to like a pet. I think it's up to the people. It's up to the person. It's up to the person if they like the kind of animal, they can keep it like a pet. I heard from uh, is that Dubai. He 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 keep tiger. Oh, lion. Sorry, lion. I heard that. It's news. I heard it from news. He's keep lion. So I think that it can be other animal we can keep as a pet. That's all.
Okay. Okay. I don't believe so. I here, of course, depend on the culture, depend the culture of their country, because as you just said, and Dubai and this country, Arab countries, Arabs, which means, or the yes continent that Arabs, they have different ways to see things. Like they like a lot of lions, tigers, and snakes and things like that. So they like a lot these animals. So they usually keep them as a pet. And I just saw some videos of all the Arabian people, and they were close to the lions in the middle of this living room. So there were a lion on their living room. So I saw, wow, that's very scared to me, because can you imagine a big, even though I don't know if you just saw, but I gonna send a picture at our English WhatsApp group from my dog, just to see how big it is. My dog is considered like a lion because he's so big. My dog is it's very big. But even though a lion is not an animal to keep as a pet, because they consider this type of animal here in Brazil is how can I say? Let me just look for the word here, but there's a name, there's a specific name to call this type of animals here in Brazil. Let me just change here. Wild, yes, wild. They call these animals like wild. Wild is some animals, or are some animals which live in the forest and not accustomed to live in the middle of the people. So that is considered a wild. Lion is a wild animal, and but of course depends on your country, depends your culture. But here Brazil, it's almost it's crazy. Someone took some lions to live with them, so they should be called crazy here. And maybe the policeman, maybe the government will took this animal from him, because it's not allowed to the laws in Brazil to have a lion at your house. But that's very interesting, very interesting. And you, let me see, Alice, it's your turn. Are there any animals that shouldn't be kept as pets?
Okay, I think my answer is red like task answer. I really agree with her opinion. First, I think the dangerous animals and the scary animals shouldn't be kept as pets, such as tigers, bears, and snakes. I know that some Russian people like to keep bears because they live in a very cold place and they live in forests, so they keep bears as pets. I think it's quite dangerous and scary if they walk the bear. on the street. Maybe it will hurt other people. It will injure other people. That's not good. And I especially opposite to keep snakes as pets because I really hate snakes. I think it's the most disgusting animals, and I even don't want to watch.
Oh, I see your connection with the internet is not so good right now. You freezy for us. Let's just give it a second to Alice just to see if her internet connection gets back. Let's see. Right now we can hear you. Go ahead, Alice.
Oh, yes. Okay. And besides, I think people shouldn't keep endangered animals as pets because this kind of animals, the number of this kind of animals is very few, and it should be protected by the professional institute. It shouldn't be kept as pets. Okay, that's all.
Yes, yeah. So as you just saw, guys, you both just saw, there are a lot of difference between this topic. So that's why he is so interesting and put this topic for discuss here at our session, because we have people from all over the world, and here we can understand a little bit more about culture of different countries. So we can see about the Cambodia cultures, we can see about Bangladesh culture and China and Chinese culture. So we have been looking for ways that people have been thinking at the same topic. So it's quite interesting to see that we all are so different. We think sometimes different. So that's makes us special. That's make us better persons because we are not at the same. We are different. So this is very interesting, and we learn a lot with each other here. Charming, it's your turn. Let me see. Are there animals that you shouldn't think that should be kept as a pet?
Well, actually, there are lots of animals that kept as a pet in our world. But I think there are no animals that they want to take them in a cage or like home, to keep them in a home, and they don't want to live as a like a how can I say, it caged like a caged life, because when they are kept as a pet, then they are uh, owners the owners and who is taking them, and they want to take them in their own way, but it's not like as a human being, because they are animal. They are not learning their language or something, their habitats, because for animal they have their own habitats, and it's not like they have to change their habitats, because they are not human being. They have their own habitats, and they don't want to learn our habitats, and it's like challenging for them. But sometimes their owners like try to keep them like their own habitats to learning them, and they tried also in our country. Most of the people and one thing is that most of the owners have that they loved their animals and pets, but they didn't like to learn, they didn't like to understand their animals feelings, because they just want to keep them because they love them. But it's not right way to keep them, because they have also their feelings, and they want to lead a free life. But when we are loving them, it's okay, but not for them, because they want to lead a happy life with a free area. But in our country or in any country, people are not getting a large area for animal, because it's very expensive to have a very large area for a animal and or a pet. But when they are very richest, they belong in a very richest family. They have lot of area for taking them. It's good, not very bad. But in this situation, lions, tigers, bears, reptiles, it's not like they should taken them in a as a pet, because they are not like this type of animal. They are natural habitats and not in the hands of private individuals as pet, because by their very nature, these animals are wild. Actually, potentially they are dangerous too, and as much as they do not adjust well to a captive environment, and in our environment it's too challenging for them. And it's sometimes they are very massive animals, and sometimes it's very harmful for human also, and it's very dangerous. And one animals is like what, not animal, it's a bird, that eagle. Some people are also keep them as a pet, but eagles are too dangerous, I think, because when they are getting large, it's very harmful for a man, or mostly for a kid, because it's like they are in a always they are in attacking mode when they are in large massive or in a big situation. How can I say? When they're growing up and they didn't learn how to take away from the kids, so it's very dangerous for kids. And some of the people take them in a cage also. And when they are free from the cage, eagles are not like any other bird, so it's very harmful. And and however they they eat meat. So it's very common thing that when they are in other places or in other space, and they see the meats, and they also be curious to see this those things to eat. And if they are not good for them, it's maybe a harmful thing for them. And actually life that wild animals lead, it's never keep to in our city's life. And in our city's life, it's very crucial for a crucial situation that people lead like their own way, but animals not like their environment to lead them freely in environment. And their natural behavior of the animal and places are both affect their mental and physical well-being at a risk situation. So
Yeah.
they often lack their adequate shelter, food, and room to roam. So and when people are control their movement or control their habitats, that's very painful for them. So sometimes they love to learn something, but it's like quite sometimes it quite challenging for them to learn humans habitat. But mostly I also love animals, like I love cat. So sometimes ago, some years ago actually, I have a cat, and in our home also now I have a cat. and I love them. But I didn't take them as a room locked situation. I keep them like their own way. They try. They sometimes they came back to eat in our room, and sometimes they are going out. And it's in our home. It's like lots of area to move, so it's easy for them. So and some time ago when I lived in a city and I was live alone in cities, then I keep a cat as a pet. Its name was Piku, and I love very much. I loved it. But some days after, I feel them they are not happy in a room locked situation, and sometimes I have to go outside, and it's been locked for a long time, and it's very painful for them. They are not going in other place. They are also always in a room locked situation. Then I feel so bad for it, and
Quite
sometimes
difficult.
later I leave them. I
Yeah.
adapt to in a city, but some days later it very sad situation for me, and I gave it for adoption.
Nice,
Maybe I
nice.
talk too much.
Just a little much, but no problem. We are here to practice, so that's very important. So we need to speak.
Yes, I think Shami she know more about animals.
Exactly.
She
Yeah. She is
okay.
she gets more comfortable when we're talking about animals. She likes cats, as she just said, and she had a lot of experience with this type of topics. Uh,
Actually, yes. And in my home, there are four little kids of cats. But some days later, it was all of them are died. So it was also bad for me.
That's very interesting. Guys, let's change a little bit our topics for to talk, and I'd like to talk about parents. So the first question is going to be for you, Alice. Let me see. Should parents control the types of TV shows, movies, and music a child hears and watches? Why and why not? If you think so.
I think parents should control the types of TV shows, movies, and music their children hears and watches. Because uh, there are some bad TV shows on the TV, which is not proper for the children, such as the violent TV shows and some other TV shows. And at this time, small children can't distinguish whether they should watch this movie, but their parents will know this. So I think this is a good way for parents to protect their children. Besides, some children will uh, how can I say that? Because the children are very young. Maybe they will be attracted to the they will be attracted to the bad TV shows, such as in the TV shows, some other people commit crimes or take drugs, and at
Yeah,
this time the
they
children don't know if
yeah they're gonna be influenced. They're gonna be influenced. They have push up to do something, push up to do some bad thing. Go ahead.
okay, and I think um, if children watch this kind of videos and no one knows what they watch, and maybe their parents think that their children never watch this kind of video, so their parents don't have the opportunity to tell them that taking drugs is wrong and committing crime is also wrong. Then the children will think, oh, that's right, they will also do it. Then it is bad for their health and it is bad for the society. So all in all, I think parents should control them. Okay, that's all.
Exactly. I agree with you. I agree with you 100%. I couldn't agree more. So that's why I just say I agree with you 100%. We have been saw a lot of bad news on the newspapers, on the TV news, and the programs like that. That childrens or teenagers have been made a lot of crimes, and it was similarly to a lot of games, a lot of type of games. So I know there maybe is a lot of people who are watching us here on the YouTube or gonna watch it is gonna watch these videos here, and they like it so much video games that they started to defend themselves. Video game cannot cause any things like that. It is like depend on the type of personality of the people and things like that. So, but unfortunately, I disagree with this person thinking about it. I 100% agree that video games can mold or can push people to do bad things if they start to play so many times this same game. So unfortunately, violence and robbers and things like that have been influenced for this type of video games. I know that it's not just video games, but there are a lot of other things which are considered to be a part of this influence. But bad video games, bad games can be a problem, can be tough about this topic. So we shouldn't keep our childs, keep our teenagers by vigilance, by our watches, just to see what they are playing, what they are watching. It's very important, at least for they maybe 16, 18 years old. After that, they can get more knowledge about the life. They can understand a little bit more about the dangers, and maybe they can choose what they want to play. But until 16, 18, I believe it's quite difficult to them to control themselves, to self-control, to get self-control when they are playing games. I was a teenager, so at that time, of course, there were not PS5, PS4. My video games was, I don't know if you know that, but Super Nintendo. Super Nintendo was my video game. So I just used it to play a lot of games like Mario, like Top Gear, and like Lamborghini games related to cars and to beautiful things. So it was quite good games. But right now, games is about guns, about explosion, about robbers, and things like that. That is what type of the games child and teenagers are pushed to game and to buy it. So that's is my opinion. I know maybe everyone has your own opinion about that. So let me ask for you right now, should parents control the types of TV shows, movies, and music a child hears or and watches? Why and why not?
In my opinion, I think parents should control the type of TV or music that the child he watch because as uh, Alice said, it's very we don't know that what kind of movie it's we not control. We don't know that what kind of movie that our kids watch. We don't know. So sometimes um, bad movie appear in their show, like when they play phone and when they watch something, it appear and then they watch it. It's kind of bad thing. They will get a bad thing, and they will think about that. It's we not control. And as my teacher also teach me about that, we have to control not only for our children but for ourselves as well. We have to control that thing, and we have to control ourselves. Like it's kind of bad movie, it's kind of a bad show. It's not good for us. We can drop it out for our kid as well. We have to know that what kind of in in other hand we have to know that what kind of movie that our kids like and what have we do to support our kids there. Like Sometimes they like to watch some people they drawing, painting, and we know that oh my kids like this, and we have to we can support them. That's
Yeah, nah, very interesting. I that was a good one, a good answer. And yes, we should thinking about. I agree with your teacher just taught you before. We should thinking about ourselves before we teach our children, because if we maybe it's part of a routine, it's part of our daily life. Watching violent movies, watch terror, horror, which means horror movies or things like that. Maybe our children starts gonna do the same, because we gonna be the mirror for our children. So our children's gonna do exactly we are used to do in front of them or at their house. So we should thinking about what we have been doing and how we have been doing, because if we had children like me, for instance, we have two two kids, maybe they gonna do the same. So we have to pay attention. I should pay attention more on this time, on this situation. And thank you for answer. So Charmy, it's your turn. Shouldn't parents control the types of TV shows, movies, and music a child hears and watches? Or why? Why or why not?
Well, that in this topic, all of them uh, talking so much at this topic, but in my opinion, I think that parents should not control on kids, like and the types of TV shows, movies, and music for a child here or watches, because as I am not a parent, it's just my opinion for that. I think parents should keep monitoring their kids or children, what they are doing, but not to control them, because when they are trying to control them, if they are and today's children are so how can I say, they are so brilliant at their brain brainstorming or something like that. If they are learning something, and it's so good for a child when they are learning something good, but when they are learning or they are watching something bad, then we have to notice that situation, and we have to turning around them in other good things. But when we are trying to control them, they are getting more involved in those situation and in those topics, because people are type of human being that if someone tried to control them, they are getting more involved in those situation or those topics. And also everyone tried to lead their own life in on their own way. So kids are loving to watch TV shows, movies, or music. So we just notice them what they are doing or what they are watching. And when they are watching bad something, then we have to turning around the other good things. And it should be like learning what they are watching. It's good for learning or nothing. And in our situation, today's life, parents are too concerned with their kids, and they want to just they learn the good things, but it's not the right way, because as a children they have to know what is good for them, what is bad for them. Because when they don't know what is good or bad, they always confused, like what is good or bad, and what is actual they have to do. So when they are watching something good or bad, we have to teach them what is good for them. And if this is not good for, not okay for them, then we should have to teach them, or for we have to give them time for understanding that is not good for them. And we should try to that something is bad also, but we have to notice what is good in those bad situation or bad things, and we have to find the good things in a bad situation or bad things. So when we are in a bad things, and we are watching bad things, not only that it's always always bad for them, there are something that is always is good for them. So everything bad is not all bad. So when they are watching those bad things, and also it's like there are lots of many bad things that is not for children, and we take them out, not to concern with them, because when they are getting involved in a bad thing, and they want to they as a child, as a child and as a kid, they always curious to know about more and more. So they are always being curious. But when it's a bad thing, then you have to like not controlling, just you have to say them it's not so good. If you watching this, it might be harmful for you. And if you keep them understandable with this topic, maybe as a kid he is turning out from this. So when we are controlling them, and it may be harmful for their how can I say growth. It very affecting their growth. So I think parents should not control the types of TV shows or something like that. Anything is for them, good or bad, and they have to take them in good or bad situation, but teach them what is good or what is bad, and let's take the attempt to for children, and they can understand the what is good for them, what is bad for them. That's all.
Okay, okay. As we just said sometimes before here, it's the best part of this group. The best part of our English speaking club is that we have people from all over the world, and each one has your own way of think, and your own way, your own cultures and things like that. So that's very nice to see how the opinions differs from each other. So as Charm said, that we should teach our kids, not control them. So that's very different way, because in my opinion, of course, I think that until certain age, until certain average, we should control them, and after that we should teach them, because at the beginning years of their lives, they have no idea about nothing, because they are learning everything. So we should be example. As Vonta, I agree what that said, we should be an example. We should think about ourselves first. So what we usually do in front of them, especially because if they watching us do some bad things, they probably gonna copy our own example. And we should, as Alice said too, we should control, but control not means don't allow them to watch anything. So control is like exactly what Shimon said. So control them is like if they are watching some bad movies, for instance, we just go to them, we just tell them that is not a good, and we just help them to choose another movie which is better for them. So that is exactly what we should do as a parents. But of course, as I said, people, everyone here has your own way of thinking, and it's totally normal. Totally agree with all of you. And as you just look at, if you just pay attention, each of us gave a common situation, which is we have a lot of things in common here. One of them is we should take care about what our children are watching or not. So everyone here said the same thing. Everyone said that we should take care more of our childs, because I believe, I don't know what is our opinion, but in my opinion, our child is the future of the world. So they are growing up right now, and as they grow up, we're gonna see how is gonna be our future. Because if you are raising child which was irresponsible, which was spoiled children, which means that they don't obey anything, they don't obey anyone, they like to do bad things, they like to fight with her brothers, they like to make our houses dirty, they don't help you clean their bedrooms, they don't like to make the bed. So some little things. But if you are keeping roles or raise these children, maybe in the future these short actions is going to be greater and greater. So our world will not be so good as we think that should. So we must to take care about our children right now, because in the future they will gonna be our future. They are gonna be our world. So if they raise good persons, doing right things, doing the best as possible, we're gonna have a brilliant future. But if they keep doing bad things, maybe, and we do not think about that, maybe we're gonna be the irresponsible is gonna be us, not there. So there are very responsibility, a huge responsibility to our own future, on our children. So we need to help them to deal with that. So thank you so much, guys. I believe that we practice a lot. So I'm gonna stop our presentation here. But I'd like just you both guys just wait a second. I'm gonna finish it to our YouTube channel here. I'm gonna start a recording, and after that, I'd like to ask a favor. Okay, so for everyone who are watching us here on the YouTube, I'd like to say thank you so much to be here. It was a pleasure to account with you here, and I hope to see all of you at our next English YouTube channel, YouTube videos. And I hope you can learn something new on your own English with us here. So let's just see here.